A special thank you to all of our patrons and channel members for your amazing and generous support. Become a member today and get exclusive watch parties, monthly hangouts with us in the community, have a say in the content I produce on the channel, early access to videos, and more. Also, you'll be able to highlight yourself as a special supporter of the Nightwatch Zone during our weekly live streams, and also get exclusive emotes and badges to have even more fun. Hit the join button next to the subscribe button, and all links are also in the description below.
You think it's over now? You're wrong.
All aboard the night train.
It's over, Prime.
This is the siege.
I'm a man of my word.
Hey. Yeah. Dead or alive, consider this home. No killing the vibe in the Nightwatch Zone. Xenomorph's hype when the lights come on. Hit like and subscribe and the show might blow. Go viral, no COVID, it's a spiral. Emotions, hand on the Bible. Only go sign on the dopest your vitals. Better tune in, yeah, you know it's vital. From Schwarzenegger to Kane Hodder, Corey G down to Harry Potter. Shit's Sigourney Weaver, love the Nightwatch Zone. Come with me to the Nightwatch Zone.
Well, there are two things a man should never run from, even if they cost him his life.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, guys? Thursday mornings, back at it. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning as well. I'm having a pretty good morning so far too. We got some really cool stuff to do today, and I also have a few announcements, and also wanted to do some community shout outs, and obviously for our members and so forth. A lot of exciting stuff. So hopefully you guys are ready to rock. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna play a little music here in the background. I haven't done that in a live stream in a while. Let's see what we got. Kind of to get the mood right. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see what we have in the chat. And a blanket hello to everyone in case I don't get to everyone. Let's see. Melissa, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying, I hope she returns. It's not the same without her. That's a good point. That is a good point. It definitely felt like something was a little bit different in Scream 6. And not to say that I didn't enjoy it for what it was, but yeah, having Neve as a part of it, it's definitely a cool thing. And we're going to see what they're going to do with this new movie. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. Nothing is official, and I do want to say that just so that everyone doesn't sit there and say, well, Knight said she's going to be in it. Don't say that. But it looks as though that's what's going to be happening. So yeah. Jen, what's going on? Good to see you. JJ's in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. And Jen, thank you so much. Reminding people to please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. And that actually is a pretty good, well, we're going to segue into it in a minute, but I don't remind people that enough, and I'm going to definitely try to be better about it. I don't remind people to hit the like button enough, or to subscribe, or to become a channel member, all those types of things. And yeah, so thank you, Jen, for helping out. Danielle, what's up? Danielle's in the chat. Nev's not a deal breaker for me. Kind of felt she passed a torch in 5, but if we get Stu, then I can see her getting involved again. But as far as I'm hoping, this is the story of the rise of Sam and Stu. That's interesting, and definitely I agree with a lot of that. Although, the way that she quote unquote passed the torch in 5, I thought it was weak. You know what I mean? I think that they could have done a better job with that. Of course, we do know that she was supposed to be in 5. So I think that, the changes that they made, it was evident that they weren't ready necessarily to have said goodbye to Sidney Prescott in 5. And it showed, because that was a weak way to pass the torch. But yeah, I mean, definitely her being in the movie, as we assume will happen, definitely gives even more hope to Stu Macher. So No doubt about that. We'll be getting into more of that too. What's up, Carrie? Carrie's in the chat. Good to see you, Carrie. Hope you got your coffee and ready to rock. Denisha, what's going on? Hope you're having a good day at work. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. I don't know how some people can function without coffee either, Melissa. There was a time when I didn't need coffee to function. I don't necessarily need it, but I do enjoy it. Let's see. And wow, we've got a new channel member in the house. Juan, what's up? Good to see you, man. Oh, that is so cool. Thank you so much. You actually beat me to the punch. Like I said just just a minute ago, I wanted to be more proactive, not only to remind folks of the different things that we offer on the channel, but also to help, thank and honor you guys that are able. And it's not a prerequisite, but if you're able to be that generous and kind to help support the channel and keep the lights on. Juan, thank you so much. It's been really cool getting to see you and getting to know you over on my good buddy Steven's channel from Craving Something Scary. And yeah, the call in, it worked on Steven's 10K stream. So, brother, thank you so much for helping to support us over here at the Nightwatch Zone. We really appreciate it. It definitely makes a huge difference. I can't stress that enough. So I got to play a clip for you, man. And this is one of my favorites. So check this one out. This one's for you, Juan, and welcome to the fam.
Bring that fat ass over here.
This. Like this. Swing your hips. Swing your hips. Fire! Swing your hips.
Gotta work that ass for daddy. No.
There it is. That's one of my favorites of all time. Shout out to Blucka who gave the request and the idea to merge some stuff together. All right, jamming with Night. Thanks, Danielle. And Melissa, I'm glad that this can wake you up in the morning. I really am glad that some folks enjoy hanging out and making this part of their morning routine. Thank you. And again, Juan, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And yeah, very, very cool. And speaking of Bluck is in the chat too. What's up? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. We already had her passing the torch happily ever after. She said she won't reprise if she dies. So what creative routes can you go with no endpoints? That is a good point. And we will be talking about that as well. I've got a special surprise. Well, for some of you guys, it might be a surprise. For some of you guys, it may not. But anyways, we will be talking about that because, are they in a corner? That's the question. But here's the thing. And you guys should know this, especially as far as being horror fans. There is always a way to have someone killed off or brought back from the dead. And anything that you say now doesn't mean that it's always going to be like that even a year from now or less. I mean, we've seen that in other franchises where we've seen people that said they will never do another movie ever, and they did. So we'll see. Carrie saying what the essence of Sydney is. There's so many angles they can still go with. I feel like there's so many stories that could still be told. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Horror Bees in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. Let's see. BTT, what's up? Mega Giants, what's up? Good to see you. Lewis is in the chat. What's up? All right. Good to see you too. And I think I've caught up to everyone. Philip, good morning. Saying hey to everyone. All right. Anyone can swing their hips. That's right. Danielle saying, Night, can we get a costume contest where we send you our Halloween outfits? Now, Danielle, that is so funny that you said that, because I'm going to tell you guys something. It's not necessarily that, okay? Although I'm very, very much open to requests, but we are heading into September, which for me, it's already I'm already thinking about fall season. I'm already thinking about Halloween season. And we have quite a few things that we've got planned for the channel, which will also integrate a lot of community folks, other content creators. I'm not going to say exactly what it is right now because I want to kind of save that today. I wanted to spend more time just hanging out with you guys and also talking about Scream 7 and the possibility that looks like we'll get Sidney Prescott back. But like I said earlier, I did want to take a moment not only to thank you guys that are channel members, but also community shout outs. But I will say this, Danielle, if you are a channel member or a Patreon member, we will definitely have some really cool stuff that we will be doing for Halloween season. And I'm just going to say this, I haven't seen any other channel do this. Okay. You guys know how I am. I try to do things that are a little bit different and hopefully something that is special to you guys. So I can guarantee you this. And as you guys know, I'm connected to probably over 100 different channels as far as people that I know, have collabed with, and so forth. I've never seen this done. So if you are not a member or not a Patreon member, please consider it because we're going to have some fun and we're going to do it in multiple ways. So thank you for that comment, though, Danielle. And I know that you're big about that. Who knows? Maybe we will do a costume contest. All right. Let's see. You guys. Hey, Carrie, Carrie is right on the ball. Hey, Carrie, you're all right. He said, cough, cough, Laurie Strode. You knew exactly what I was thinking. Hey, you know what, Carrie? This one's for you. That was great. You got a good laugh out of me. Here we go.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, bitch.
Carrie is on the ball. Wow. Awesome. Jen, you knew it too. Juan, thank you. And thank you for great content. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That really it really means a lot. And as a quick half a minute segue, I just want to say that in our community, and when I say community, guys, and some of you guys obviously follow a lot of other content creators, when I say community, I'm talking about a lot of people. I'm talking about, maybe 30 or so different content creators channels. But we've had moments that have been kind of tough in a lot of different ways recently. Some of you might know what I'm talking about, some of you may not, but that's okay. The point being is that I want to continue to try to promote positivity and support for all of us. We're all movie fans, we're all horror fans. And even though we might have times where we don't agree or have different opinions, it doesn't mean that we can't still be cool with each other, be friends, support each other, and show that not only in comments or offline, but in our content and on camera and so forth. So I just wanted to say that. A special shout out to my good friend Karen over at Ocean Chicks Films, who did something similar like this, talking about just the community coming together, and was very, very kind about supporting other channels, which she is a channel member of the Nightwatch Zone. And she said something to me that really made me pause, because not that I didn't realize this, but just to hear someone say that, to voice it in their content, which was live at the time, that she wanted to help support because of the fact that she enjoyed the content, she'd enjoyed the community, the folks in the live chat, you guys that are here now, and people that might join in or watch this replay. And it really just hit home, because so many of us that do YouTube, we put so much of ourselves into it. It's literally something that is a daily routine. So special thank you to Karen for doing that. I don't think I don't know. It just took me back for her to say that, and it's nice to hear that sometimes that people um, are really appreciative of the community that you help to promote and kind of help people and so forth. So, anyways, thank you to her, but thank you to all of you guys, and Juan, thank you as well. And so many of you guys in here are supporters, subscribers, people that leave comments and suggestions, and all of those things help a channel to be a fun place to be. So, thank you to all you guys. And we got a lot more stuff coming up, so definitely keep your eyes open and ears peeled. So, all right. Very, very cool. And Carrie rapping Ghostface. Oh my God, that was so funny when you did that. That will live forever. It really will. So guys, let me bring in my special guest. And hey, what's up, Sunrise? Good to see you too, bro. Let me bring in my special guest, and we can hit the ground and run with this and have some more fun with you guys and your comments and thoughts and so forth. So you guys know who he is. He's one of my most special friends that I've been so lucky to have found on YouTube. And it shows that you never know who you might run into, paths that may cross. And I would have never thought that this would have happened, but I'm so thankful that it did, and so blessed. Let me bring him on. You guys know who he is, my brother from the collective, Steven from Craven Something Scary. What's up,
Hey,
bro?
good morning, man. And I just want to let you know, man, I feel exactly the same, buddy. Really do. It's really, really blessed to have met you and to have had what's over 2 years now
Yeah.
that we've our friendship has grown and grown. And man, I appreciate you so much, buddy. I really do.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you too, man. And we've had so much fun, and we're gonna be doing a lot more fun things and having a lot more
Oh
fun.
yeah.
We've talked about some ideas, so again, if you guys got
Hmm.
to stay tuned. Halloween season is coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun on Craven's Something Scary, and we're going to definitely have some fun here on the Nightwatch Zone. And you can
Yes.
indeed, we're going to be merging quite a bit. So, anyways, good to
Can't
have
wait.
you. I can't
Good to
wait
be here.
either. Yeah. Elm Street's last brat in the house saying it's good to be amongst friends. Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. Let's see. Juan saying last night I watched Slaughterhouse. Oh my God, what a movie. I think it will be a cult classic at some point. It's an absurd, crazy, funny movie. It does not have much gore, but it's entertaining. I've heard of that movie. Where have I heard of that movie?
Same here. I was wondering. I
Wow.
was just thinking that too. I read the comment. I don't
Juan,
know.
Juan, if you can let us know. Well, I don't want any spoilers because I do want to hear, but I've
Yeah.
heard of that movie. Maybe let us know where you watched it or whatever. That'd be great. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I've heard of that movie, but where? We do so much reading, research, prepping, and all that, and
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
your mind is in 1,000 different directions. But yeah, yeah. Carrie, yeah, Karen is a sweet soul. I hope you guys collab soon, night, because it would be fun. Yeah, I mean, and I definitely, and she doesn't know this, but and she's probably watching. She's slick. A lot of times she'll be watching, but she can't always be in the live chat. But I definitely have something that I'm hoping to do again with her. But I've been on her channel 2 or 3 times now, so. And we collabed a long time ago when we talked about the skeleton key. So, anyways, she's awesome. She really is.
Yeah.
Danielle said night is so so sensitive. And well, I guess so. Thank you though, Danielle. I appreciate that. Oh my God. And Carrie. Can I just say something? Carrie is so funny in the chat. Like there'll be times, and Steven, I'm sure you can speak to this. Sometimes
Mhm.
you know what you're going to be talking about. We've done so many live streams. This is very much second nature. But
Yep.
sometimes she'll say something that just stops me in my tracks. And it just, whoo. you know,
Yeah,
in a good way, in a
in
good
a
way.
good way. Yes,
Yes, yes,
definitely. Yeah,
yes.
you read it and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a Carrie thing, man.
It is a
Carrieism.
yes, Carrieism. I love that. We got to use that. Uh, David, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the
Yeah.
stream. Saying I'm glad Sidney Prescott is back in Scream 7. Man, I'm telling you, it looks good. It looks good, but we're gonna be
Hmm.
talking about that as well. Because we've got the man right here who has given us so much great insight into things that are going to be happening. So this is the stream. Um, and I think I'm pretty caught up with everyone here. Steven, let's just start this off, man. I mean,
Yeah.
what are your opening thoughts? I said this earlier before you came on that this isn't an official confirmation of Nev being back,
Right.
but all signs point towards having Sydney back in Scream 7, which
Yep.
we've talked about that ad nauseum
Hmm.
since the end of Scream 5, you know,
True.
and what we want, what we hope will happen, and so forth. So, what are your opening thoughts about this?
Yeah. So, of course, as you just said, uh, we've been real vocal, I think, about it, and
Hmm.
I'm on Team Sydney and have been, always have been, and
Hmm.
so, and I respect those that are like, they're ready to move on with new
Yeah,
characters, and that's fine. I don't like, I do understand like that angle also.
yeah.
However, I just don't share that. That's all. That's just it's my view's a little different.
Hmm.
I always feel like if Sydney is, or if Nev is still with us, Sydney should still be with us,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, as long as she, can do it. So anyway, that's kind of the backdrop. But what's happened the last 2 days? I guess it's 2 days now.
Yeah.
So these rumors started circulating on Tuesday afternoon, and
Hmm.
that there could be something going on with Nev. And so I was watching it and I was listening. I was seeing things, but I'm like, well, I'm not gonna weigh in on this right now.
Hmm.
And so the next day comes. This is yesterday, and I see that my buddy over Critical Overlord posts about it. Excuse me.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, look, it's starting to get a lot of traction on social media, Twitter and
Yeah.
things. So I'm like, all right, it's time. And then people started messaging me saying, hey, what do you think about this? What have you? So I'm like, okay, it's time. So what I decided to do tonight was, rather than talk about what's being out there, like specifically, I reached out to the source that I have,
Right.
that is the same source who shared with me that Radio Silence was not returning, and that
Hmm.
Christopher Landon was the next guy,
Hmm.
and I was so excited to be able to be the first to share that, as you know, last month,
Yeah.
and then 3 days later, the media outlets all pick it up, but this is that same person, and to they're close to everything with this going on in the production.
Mm.
So I reached out to that individual and said, hey, there's a lot of rumors floating right now. It's picking up steam. Have you, do you have any information you could share? And they were like, yes, I do, actually. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right. So basically what I was told, Night, and was that that Nev, prior to the strike happening, was in the process of signing or contracts to join the cast.
Mm.
And then the strikes happened as she was basically about to sign to come on.
Mm. Mhm.
And the negotiation part, which one of the like a lot of the rumors that I was hearing was, we don't know if that means she's negotiating or is she actually signing, because those are
Mhm.
two different things.
Right.
And the source told me that she was signing on prior to the strike, meaning the negotiations, the salary talk, all that goes into a negotiation like this was done. It
Okay.
was done. It was completed. It was accepted. Terms were agreeable for everybody, and she
Mm-hmm.
was signing on. So, and again, this person is of the utmost credibility, and so that's why I decided to make the video yesterday and the live stream, because in my mind now it's a done deal in my mind.
Right.
She's gonna come. She's back, and that's how I'm proceeding in my own thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to announce anything. Number one, if she didn't complete all the signings, then they can't
Right.
anyway. But even if she did do that, the strike is going on, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not, it doesn't look good if you're in the middle of a strike to say, "Hey, we signed Neve Campbell." That's just
Right.
not going to
Yeah.
fly. So that's a very long answer, but I just wanted to lay it all out there for you as we get
Yeah.
started. So that's the backdrop to all this. And
Mm.
so, yeah, man, in my mind, Neve is back. And now it becomes
Mm-hmm.
a discussion of how much back is she?
You see, man, that's why we stream so much, because like we're just on the same level, because that's exactly what came into my head. And I was thinking in multiple layers. Okay. There
Yeah.
was the one side of me that was thinking, okay, we know that the original plan was to have her, be in Scream 6. That didn't
Mhm.
work out. Okay. And then, they kind
Yep.
of did whatever they had to do to pivot or whatever. Now, the question that came into my mind is, will this be what they were hoping to kind of achieve with her character a little bit in 6 plus whatever they're going to do in 7, right? Or the other side of it that is exciting, but yet I'm also nervous, is because now that we've got Christopher on board, radio silence is out. Are we doing something that is even more different with her
Mhm.
character, or whatever the game plan is for her arc in this movie? Not only
Okay.
that, but how much of a role will she have in the movie, or how much of a presence, I should say, because I think we're
Yeah.
pretty much on the same page that five was not it. five,
No,
five, five
it's
I
not.
mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed, a lot of things in 5, but
Yeah.
Sydney's character development was not one of them. So,
No, it
so
was
I
not.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, so what are your thoughts as far as, and I guess in a way this is like pre predictions or hopes. But what
Mhm.
do you think might be the amount of weight or presence that she could have in this film? Because I think there's just so many possibilities.
There really are. Here's the thing I go back to. Remember, man, a long time ago, I don't even know when it was, but it was a long time ago. The rumors were coming out about Scream 6, remember? And they said that Sydney's going to have a cameo. This is back when the negotiations broke down, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they said she was going to have a small role in 6,
Mm-hmm.
leading to a large role in 7. That
Mm.
was that was the rumors that were going everywhere. Well, we just found out last week when the Scream 6 script came out, finally leaked out, that verified Sydney's role was a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
It was very small, maybe a little more than a cameo, but not much more.
Right.
Um, and so that confirms the rumors from before that the plan for her in 6 was to be small, and it was and then now you're going to have to make some assumptions, obviously,
Right.
but if in fact we have James and Guy back writing, which all things look like we will,
Mm-hmm.
if they're going to kind of still continue that story through what they had in mind originally, then that would mean that 7 would feature Sydney quite a bit. If
Mm-hmm.
that's true, it would
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Right.
And now I mentioned this in my video yesterday, but I'm going to make a separate one on this, a topic only. And here's my proposition, and I want to see what your thoughts are. So I know the core 4 is here, and I assume they're going to be back. That's
Mhm.
another rumor that's going around, is that another source I have told me that they do know that there were other actors that have already signed on prior to the strike that have not been announced.
Mhm.
And I believe the majority of those are the core four
Right.
group. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
So
at least definitely Melissa for sure.
Melissa for sure,
Yeah.
and really, I mean, Chad Mason. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's knocking on his door too hard right now.
Right, right.
So I bet you he's already on.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Jasmine was already signed on either.
Yeah, I
But
would think so. Yeah.
they'd be a little more assignable than
Mhm.
Jenna, for example.
Right.
But let's assume the core four is back, or the core three. I'm so sorry, my throat. What's going on with my throat? So my thinking is this: is that I don't want to Scream 5 like you just brought up,
Right.
where Sydney's a glorified cameo in this movie. In
Mhm.
that movie, it wasn't really necessary at all, which is a
Mhm.
shame.
Yeah.
So what I want to see is, and I bring this analogy up, like a lot of times you see in like crime dramas on television. If you watch,
Mhm.
some of these series, where they'll have two different storylines that are
Mm.
running simultaneously,
Right.
and so they'll investigate one murder and then another one, and they go back and forth.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what I would like to see, Knight, is a 50-50, at the very least, 50-50 scenario where we have, we got the core four over here, and we got Sydney dealing with her issues with
Mhm.
Ghostface over here. And then obviously at the end, they merge together
Mhm.
and they come together at the end to fight Ghostface and do all that.
Yeah.
And the other thing, Knight, I'm going to throw out there is that if you do this, you can also reinforce the cult idea, because
Right.
if you've got Sydney being attacked in Seattle, imagine an opening attack where they kill her nanny for the kids or something, or Mark, and
Mhm.
then instead of getting that title card,
Mhm.
it cuts to the core four or a member of the core four, and all of a sudden they're attacked and in a different city. And it's like,
I
wait
know,
a
man.
minute, dude. We've got the cult going on. We've got Sydney going. So you have all these stuff, and you could literally bounce back and forth
Yes.
until they converge in the third act.
Mhm. Now
That's
it's
that's my thought, dude. If I'm writing it, I'm writing it that way.
it's so funny because and we've talked about the cult thing so much and
Hmm.
thoughts for seven and stuff. And I actually have I actually have something I'm working on right now that is kind of similar. I don't want to say it too
Oh,
much, but anyways, but yes, I think that that would be fantastic, and I think it's a way that you get the best of both worlds because
you
you
do.
have Sam's story and you bring back Sydney in a much stronger way, more than just a glorified cameo or whatever we want to call what she did in 5. And that's what I'd want to be quite honest with you. I'd have no issue if instead it was 50-50. I'd have no issue if it was like 60-40, leaning towards Sydney, because I think
Same. Same.
number one, she wasn't in 6. So
Hmm.
I think story wise, it could really be powerful, that she's, back
Hmm.
in it, so to speak. But also franchise wise, I think it'd be very powerful for the fans that,
Yeah.
that the final girl is,
Hmm.
back in whatever situation they're going to paint for us. But I agree, the idea of the cult would be not only fantastic, but I think it would serve the story better because we've got so many survivors, bro.
I
We've got
know.
the core four. Let's just and we're and again, guys in the live chat, and I'll get to you guys in a second too. But this is all assumption, and we're
Hmm.
just theory crafting here. But if we assume that we get the core four back, we've got 4. We've got Sydney back, that's 5. I'm assuming that we could get Gail back.
I think so.
Okay, that's 6. We also have Danny, that's
Yep.
7. And I don't know what their plans are for Kirby. You know me, I'm a big Kirby fan. So and that doesn't even include any new cast
No.
whatsoever.
No.
We have to get at least a handful of new cast
At
people.
least 5, I would think. At least 5
Yeah.
new people to be
So
suspects.
yeah, so the good news is that we got a lot of moving parts. The bad news is when I look back at Scream 5, the big issue was I felt like we didn't have enough development of these characters, too
Yeah.
many characters, really, and
Hmm.
or not enough, not a long enough runtime. You remember when we found out that they cut about, what was it, 18 minutes, 20,
Yeah, right around
15?
20 minutes, something like that,
Okay.
17 to 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they cut that time. And so, like I said, this is all good news, but it's also news to be a little cautious about. And I guess we'll see how
Yeah.
that plays out. But I love the idea of the cult. I think we gotta have at least 3 Ghostface killers. To
Yeah,
me,
I
we
think
gotta
so.
have 3. We will never. You cannot go back to 1.5 like we did in Scream 3.
Oh, come on,
I
now.
don't-
Let's just call it 2 now. Come
2.
on.
Okay, 2. Hey, you know what? One day we gotta have a Scream 3 stream, man, where
We should. Yes.
we just dive deep into the pool. I'm talking about jumping
Yep.
in naked and just diving deep
Wow.
and just look, because I mean we've talked about it so much online, but
Right.
also privately about that
Yes.
there is no way on God's green earth
No.
that Roman was a solo ghost
There's
face.
no
I know,
way, man.
I'm telling you, man. So,
Dude, we could do a stream like we did the cult of not the cult, the People versus Stu Macher, where we'll pull up the screenshots and
yes,
we'll actually we'll actually time out the real time between this and this happening
yes,
and say this is 2.1 seconds to go or whatever the time is, right?
I love
And
it.
then I'm seriously, I'm down for that, buddy. We should totally do that.
I know, man. I'd be up for it too, man. Real quick, real quick in the chat. Let me catch up to you guys for a second here. Let's see. We got some more people jumping in. Hey to you guys that are
All
just
right.
jumping in. Jamie's in the house. What's
Hey,
up,
Jamie.
Jamie? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. We got some people that want them to take a break after 7. I understand that. Let's see. Danielle saying the cult can carry on Scream though. Yeah, I mean the cult idea is really
Yeah.
cool. I really think it is cool. Gina, what's up, Gina? Good to
Hey,
see you.
Gina.
Oh, and Ziggy had a birthday. That is so cool. Happy birthday to Ziggy.
Yes.
Oh, that is so
Aw.
cool. All right.
Ziggy's a big fan, man.
Right.
You know? Ziggy's a big fan of.
Exactly. What's up, May? May's in the
Hey.
house.
Hi,
Good
man.
to see you. Let's see. Lewis says, bring Stu back.
Heck
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. No doubt. Danielle is a huge fan of Mindy. Yeah, Mindy
Yeah.
definitely has her moments. I'd love to see them do something really interesting with Mindy in 7 though, because I feel like in 6, like she started to head down a certain path to really stand out, but then it just fizzled, kind of fizzled for me. And I was hoping to
Yeah.
see something more from her, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You know how I feel about Mindy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
she has moments like you say, but if she's the opening kill, it won't break my heart. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, in 6, I just I liked her better in 5 than 6, and I didn't like her much in 5. But in 6, I don't know. I think it was 2 things is what gets me with Mindy. It was the park scene with the rules. That was
Oh, yeah.
too much, dude. It was way over the top. It felt like she was just really trying too hard to me when I watched that scene. Like she's really
Interesting.
now again, maybe the directors are telling her embellish. I mean, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
telling her. They might be. So I can't be 100% on that. But but the thing that annoys me, and again, this is writing. It's not really. It has nothing to do with Jasmine.
Right.
So I'm talking about the character of Mindy. the whole getting stabbed in the arm and like she's dead, like she can't walk, and she's like, dude,
Ow!
your legs are fine. It's your arm. Just go. I know it hurts, but just run. That part to me, when you go into sleep, I just can't. It drives me bonkers, buddy. I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. But
Right.
but anyway, and again, that may not be necessarily her fault. That could be the writing
Right.
that says to do that.
Mhm.
But when
Yeah.
we're watching Annika, bless her heart, being
Yeah.
gutted,
Yeah.
literally holding her organs in her stomach, and she's
Mhm.
still walking, trying to get out of the apartment.
Yeah.
And you got Mindy over there with her arm going, oh, I'm like, really? I mean, come on, man. Sorry.
It's like she saw a ghost or something. This is what I think of
Yeah.
when I saw that. It's like, come on, girl, get some guts.
Yeah.
No, but I agree. I think that there was a lot of untapped potential
Yeah.
for the character because I think Jasmine can deliver, some really good stuff with
Yeah.
the character. You know what I mean? So hopefully,
Yeah, for sure.
I hope in 7 they really, bring the best out of the character. You know what I mean?
But they can't all live, though, Night.
They
You
can't,
cannot have
bro.
the
They
core four. Somebody's got to die.
Listen, if this, and again, this is where I was gonna go as well. Before I say that, real quick,
Oh, go ahead.
Jen
Yeah.
saying, as much as I want Stu back, I think it would be awesome to find out that Gail is actually behind all the
Oh.
ghost face murders.
Oh, wow.
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 Man, they would, I'm open to anything if it can be executed well, but they
Yeah.
would have to really go down a path, to make that
Oof.
work,
Yeah.
to make it make sense. There's gonna be a lot of feelings if that were to happen.
Yeah, dude. I can't imagine what the content creators, the social media response, it would be bonkers,
The
dude.
Scream fandom will implode.
It would.
But
Totally.
that would be interesting. It would be so interesting. And Ziggy is 5. All right.
Aw,
Very,
all
very
right.
cool. That is so cool.
Nice.
Let's see. And there are fans of the Terminator, Chad himself. Yeah, I loved Chad in Scream 6 up until he survived what was, you just can't survive that type of stuff, man. Come
Come
on.
on.
We all know it.
No.
And speaking of which, and that goes into what you were just saying. Here's the thing, man. Lewis said the core force seemed to be immortal after. Dude, if you think, bro, I just
True.
got an idea for something. But yeah, they survived a lot of stuff, man. But here's the thing. Okay, so we're gonna get 7. Let's assume, because all this is assumption, but we're trying to be somewhat intelligent about it. So
Yeah.
this is the end of the core 4 trilogy, or the
Mhm.
Samantha trilogy, whatever we want to call it. We've got a lot of people left. This movie could and probably should be an absolute bloodbath filled with tears because we gotta lose some people, bro. We gotta
do.
lose. We gotta listen. And me and Steven obviously we're live and we're just putting these thoughts together, but that's what we love to do and having fun with it on the fly with you guys. But in the core 4, yeah, I would think we got to lose at least 1, but
At
probably
least.
should lose 2.
Mhm.
We probably should lose 2 of the core 4. If we
Yeah.
assume this is the end of a trilogy, that's
True.
not to say that any survivors can't appear in the next Scream movie, but just as far as a trilogy arc, if we're assuming this is the end of that trilogy, the 3rd movie, we should lose at least 2 of the core
Yeah.
4.
We
Okay.
should.
So then you still got Danny, Sydney, Gail, and maybe Kirby, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm 50-50 on whether Kirby's gonna come back. I know Hayden probably would like to, but I don't know if that's the game plan. So that's another 4 characters that have appeared in a previous Scream film. So just, you know, by percentage, at least
Yeah.
one of them should go, if not 2.
I know. Well,
Right?
it's hard not to imagine one of the legacy going. Like,
Yeah.
it had to be Gail or Kirby.
Yeah.
It won't be
right.
Sydney. So
Yep.
it's one of them if you go that route. And you know, I imagine Kirby would be probably on the most people's list to go for Gail, I would think.
I would think. Yep.
You know, and you know, she could jump in 7, and because she's FBI, she
Mhm.
does Ghostface cases, and
That's right.
so she could easily be, especially if we're talking about the cult, because we're crossing state lines, Night. This is not
Right.
within one state now.
That's
So that's
right.
a federal crime. So
Mhm.
the FBI could get involved. So you got naturally Kirby's there for most of the movie, and or maybe she's not. Maybe she's not there for most of the movie. Maybe she
Mhm.
gets taken out early, and that's
Mhm.
shocking kill. And I mean, I agree with you though. I think we lose one of the siblings from each group. The,
Yeah.
the twins and the Carpenters.
Yep.
One, I think you lose Jenna. I think you lose Mindy. Tara and
Mm.
Mindy is who I think we lose.
Wow.
If I had to guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they can't. I mean, and I'm not saying it can't happen, but it almost would make no sense to lose Chad now because it's like,
No,
it's like,
dude, come on. If
Can
you
you
kill
imagine?
him now, really?
can you imagine like if he? And I'm not trying to make light of this, guys. We're talking about movies, so I'm just having fun with it as a
Yeah.
movie. But could you imagine if in 7 he's killed by a stab?
Oh,
Notice I said a
gosh.
stab.
One stab, it's done.
Dude,
That
there'd
would
probably
just
be
be-
people throwing their popcorn at the screen. What the hell?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
real-
No.
but yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like, man. We got to lose a handful of people.
Danny's
Or-
got to go. He's toast.
Danny's got to go. I think what would have been really cool is with Danny, if at the end of 6, if he had had a death scene, they could have had Danny have had a death scene instead of Chad. You know,
Mhm.
like a double
Yeah.
Ghostface kill. Like, why couldn't they have
Yes.
done that?
Exactly.
Because then he actually could have died. He's
Mhm.
he's Sam's, you know, romantic interest or whatever. So it's almost the same dynamic how Jenna
Yep.
was, you know, in shock seeing, you know, Chad being attacked and stabbed by 2 Ghostface killers. They could have just
Yeah.
switched it out, had it as Danny, you know, being killed by 2
Perfect.
Ghostface killers, and have
Perfect.
Sam's reaction and so forth.
Mhm.
And then that way we actually get the kill instead of
Yes.
the worst Ghostface attack of all time, because it's 2 of you.
And you
with
can't
an
kill the
eight-
guy.
You can't kill him. And Chad was like this, kill me, kill
Yeah,
me.
he's
And they
just
couldn't
sitting
do
there.
it.
No. I mean, they're sitting there stabbing him 17 times and they still can't get the job done.
Hey, look, it's worse than Loomis when he shot Michael. I shot him 6 times. I
He's
shot
not
him in the
human.
heart.
He's not human.
It's like, how do you mess that up?
I
You're like,
know.
And this is just, anyways.
Dude, I'm with
ranting.
you. Oh
Yeah,
no,
man.
I'm trust me, we're on that same ride together. I'm
Oh my
there.
god, too funny.
Yep.
Danielle saying, I was stabbed and I can tell you I started falling asleep the more blood I lost. Got robbed when I was 19. Oh my god, Danielle.
Oh, that's awful.
Jeez. It is awful. I'm glad that you're okay. Wow. Jeez.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, in truth, when you start losing blood, I've lost blood not from a stab, but you do start getting, like Stu said, feeling all woozy.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, what was it then when we did the people? I think it was Eric who was whose role was covering the blood,
Uh-huh.
and he said you can lose.
Yes.
Gosh, was it 30 to 40%? 30%, I think, of your blood before you begin to have like
You start to lose consciousness, right?
real effects. I'm trying to think of the word he used.
Mhm.
But basically, in other words, you can lose a lot of blood and still be
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
What it was is the point of like 30% of your total blood,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yep.
is a lot. So
It's true, man.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you guys are so it's so funny talking about Gail's part of the cult.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, can you imagine if they did that?
Mm-mm.
That would be so
Wow.
crazy. Wow.
It would.
Um, I don't know if they would go that route with Gale. Because like I
Yeah.
said, you'd have to jump over so many potholes. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah. You think bringing back Stu's hard.
I know,
This is harder than that.
right?
This is,
It definitely.
you got to explain how she's going to, I mean, you got to explain everything. All the attacks she allowed happen to Dewey, her
Yes.
husband,
Yes.
she's letting him
That's
get,
right.
I mean, there's so much stuff to unpack with that theory. Again, nothing's impossible. And I said that I always say that. This is Hollywood.
Right.
Anything's possible.
Yep.
But I think that's so hard to do. And you can't just say it in one sentence and be
Right.
justified.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to show it. I mean, to me, you have to spend too much time in the
Yeah.
movie for just that one thing.
Right.
Whereas Stu is not as difficult. He faked his
Right.
death. You can,
Mhm.
you can do a paragraph of dialogue, and
Mhm.
it's a lot easier, I think, to pull off
I
than
think so
something like
too.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle saying, not saying Gail is the Ghostface cult, but allowed to live because she is their Lois Lane, their advertiser. That's just an interesting way to
Ah,
look at it.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
interesting.
very much
Okay.
so. Yeah. But, I think, back to this whole idea with Sydney, I
Yeah.
think that the the thing that comes into my mind is you can allow or you can have a 50-50 story between Sydney's side and obviously the core four side. I think it's very doable. And we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
and Carrie alluded to it earlier because I had said something and she knew exactly what I was saying, but we've seen this happen before. Most notably, if you look at Halloween, I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
story is centered around Laurie Strode, but we're allowed to follow, Allison. We're allowed to follow Karen and other characters as well. And
Yep.
I think that is a great roadmap where they can kind of get some inspiration from. Because I just think in 5, it was just, I know they wanted to highlight Dewey, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. But I just think that I think Sydney should have been involved in the movie more.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
bringing her in halfway through, or 55%, 55% into the movie, bring her in at 40% of the movie.
Yes.
You're introducing Sam and Tara and all those
Mm-hmm.
types of things, these new characters. But I just think that it just wasn't a good enough showing, and
Agreed.
why I think that, and I've alluded to this, and I do have something that I've been working on, but look at Scream 4.
Okay.
Like, Sydney had so much
Mm-hmm.
weight in that movie, presence, screen time, importance, and everything. But the movie spent so much time, with
Mm-hmm.
our other characters, our newer characters, and
It
learning
did.
about them. You know what I mean? We get
It did.
introduced to, these new characters, and they had weight, but you still balanced it out with Sydney, and you also had
Mm-hmm.
some great stuff with Gail and Dewey. So it
Yep.
can be done.
It can.
It definitely can be done. So
That's
I'm
right.
going to be curious to see what they're going to do for Scream 7. I
Oh, me
really
too, man.
am.
I remember this was Christopher Landon's debut for the
Mhm.
franchise, and and we'll I'm very excited to talk with him. I can't talk about Scream, but
Mhm.
one of the things I'm going to talk to him about and ask him questions about is what's his philosophy of directing when you're anyway. The point I'm trying to get to is that if how aggressive does he want to be from the gates,
Mhm.
because he could come in and just really blow the doors off this thing and just slaughter everybody, and just say, hey, here's we're not doing this whole happy ending Disneyland fairy tale ending of 6,
Right.
where everyone, doesn't matter how you're wounded.
Mhm.
Like Mindy, you're going to be running around, jumping around with all this, with your gut being cut open, and
Right.
you're like running around like nothing hurts. Listen, and I've said
I
this before,
know. And Tara too.
and well, Tara too. And that's the thing, dude. I've only had one surgery in my life, just, transparency. And it was what they call the microscopic surgery, where it's
Mhm.
those little incisions,
Mhm.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. When I got up to walk, I had a pillow shoved up against my upper area, lower chest area, and every step was killing me. And those
Mhm.
were little cuts like this.
Mhm.
Dude, these people are being sliced open.
Right.
I mean, and I'm like, Mindy, I'm like, dude, come on, man. You would be so drugged up on pain meds, sleeping. You would be so much pain.
Mm.
But again, I know it's a
Yes, sir.
movie. I know
Right.
it's a movie. And I'm going to be the first to say it's fiction. But I
Yes.
guess my point, Knight, is I do miss, like, I do miss some of that with, like, we in the Wes Craven films. I mean, even like Dewey surviving, he's like
Mhm.
on the stretcher, like,
Yeah, he's out.
dude,
Mhm.
yeah, like
Mhm.
he's actually showing pain, like he's
Mhm.
not in good shape, he's hurting,
Right. Yeah.
and I miss that element. That's all. I miss that
Yeah.
from what we got in 6. I hope Christopher Landon brings that back. I really do.
I hope so too, because that was a huge and again, I enjoyed 6, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't. I enjoyed 6, but when
Oh, me
you
too.
when you when you look at it and you say, wow, we had some really brutal kills. We had a
Hmm.
brutal ghost face, the way the ghost face was portrayed, and obviously it's multiple ghost face killers, and that's great. But then you think about all the survivors. We had the most ghost face killers of all time, and we had the most survivors of all time. So it's
In
like
the same movie.
in the same movie. So we had 4 on-screen Ghostface killers,
Wow.
one that had their head severed, and it's like, you guys are the worst team of all time, man. You guys,
All time.
you know what I'm saying?
That's Let me
The
tell you something.
numbers don't lie.
Dude, if the Baileys were going to be contract killers, they would be on the discount rack as a family, because they can't get the job done, dude. I'm
Right?
sorry.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah, that
crazy,
was
man.
crazy. The most killers in a movie and the least amount of victims.
I
or,
know, man.
or
It's like, you
most
guys,
survivors, I should say. Most
most survivors, right?
survivors.
Like, you guys have a horrible batting average, man. That's too bad. That's too
Too
bad.
bad.
Um,
That's right.
Black is saying Scream 1 through 4 were really good at overlapping character screen time and character
Hmm.
stories.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think what Wes and company were able to do is really like when you watch those movies, and I've
Hmm.
recently watched them, it feels like it's one
Yes.
long movie, one long story, or like if you're
Hmm.
reading a book and you go in chapter by chapter, and it just
Yeah,
feels, you know what I'm saying?
I
And
do.
obviously when you get a new director, there's going to be a different flavor, and that's
Hmm.
fine.
Hmm.
But like I said, man, Wes was the master, and we were just talking about him last
Oh,
night, commemorating,
mm,
losing him.
yes.
So he was
Yeah.
just good at that. He really, really was. No doubt. No doubt.
Hmm.
Carrie saying the only way I could come to peace with Dewey is if it was revealed to be Stu. Yeah. Anyway, hey,
Mm,
we might get it. We might
we
get it.
might.
You never know.
That's right.
Um, and Jennifer's in the chat. What's up, Jennifer? Good to see you
Hey.
as well. All right, all right. Um, Carrie saying I I hate Amber. Hey, look, it
Oh.
just because you gifted this to me, my good friend
Oh,
Steven. Let's show it. This one's
yes.
for Carrie.
Yes. There
There
it
it is,
is.
Carrie.
Sourpuss has grown to another channel.
It's the greatest picture of all time. Oh my
It really
god.
is, dude.
Oh man.
I
Oh
mean,
wow.
the phrase that you've heard for since you were a kid, that a picture speaks 1,000 words. There's never been more truth in there ever to that statement than that picture. I mean,
Right.
I'm like, if you could encapsulate her character in just an image, that's it. That's how she performs the whole movie.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
What did you do to Tara? I mean, it's just everywhere you look. Let's go, guys. Tara needs some rest, okay? Like, dude. Gosh, anyway.
She said lemon face.
Lemon face.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God.
Yes.
Jen saying she prefers Jill as well.
Oh.
Jennifer says I'll take Jill all day over. Oh yeah, Jill
Oh,
over
heck
Amber.
yeah.
That's not
Heck
even
yeah.
Jill was to me. Jill was amazing.
She was incredible, dude. She's my she's my most favorite ghost face after Stu and Billy, dude. That's how much I love Jill. She's awesome.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No doubt. Danielle said, I would not like Amber or Jill in real life. I like them as the killers, though. There you go. There you go. Separation. You guys are so funny. Juan saying, and by the way, I don't know if you had heard it, Steven, but Juan became a channel member, bro. Isn't that cool?
All right,
that is so
Juan.
cool, man.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so very, very
Juan's
cool.
great. Yes.
Yeah. And he'll be able to see you in some of our exclusive watch-alongs and parties and stuff because you're so gracious enough to be over here so much. And
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And Juan saying Amber had one of the best moments when she shot Liv, but other than that, I did not care for her. It was a good reveal, I will say, or moment when she quote unquote came out. Because it caught me. I was like, whoa, she shot her like point blank. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was good. I will give her that. I mean, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
But even in the kitchen, not to be beating on a dead horse, but even in the kitchen scene, she was so whiny and just I'm just like, dude. Anyway, I won't go on.
Well, I'll take the baton. The one part though that was, and I don't know if I want to say it's entertaining, but that and maybe it's because of Neve and Courtney. But when she says, "Wait a minute," she says, "I was radicalized." It was, I don't know. It just, she kind of in that moment, it was kind of like, okay, that was. I don't know if I want to say funny or just hypocritical or whatever, but anyways, it was a moment.
Well, it's what this, oh, I'm gonna be careful. Oh, I almost said I'll get myself in trouble. It's what some people in this generation do is they don't take accountability.
Right.
Even if I'm literally killing people, it's not my fault.
Right.
You're the one with the knife in your hand, but it's not your fault. And I'm like,
that's right.
And that's what that, to me, in that moment was like, that reflects a lot of the mindset I see in some folks.
That's right.
In that generation that she's in.
That's right. Absolutely. No doubt about it. BTT saying, not gonna lie, I love Amber and that long black hair and the sultry, distrustful eyes. I knew she was the killer from the beginning.
Exactly.
The sultry, distrustful eyes. I love that. That's a great description, man.
Yeah, it's true.
The long black hair and the sultry, distrustful eyes.
Put it up.
That is great.
Put it up, Knight. There it is.
The distrustful eyes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't trust a face like that, dude. Sorry.
Dude.
I'm checking out.
Oh, man. Danielle saying, I think you missed the fact you hated them was great that they were the killers that got killed. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So in other words, they did a good job in that sense. And I think I think Mikey Madison did a really good job in the role, because right from the get-go, you're kind of like, bro, what I mean? So absolutely. Yep. Good point, Danielle. Now here's the other thing that I wanted to throw your way, and then I wanted to do a quick segue. So with Scream 7, now that we are assuming that Neve is going to be coming back, and all all things point in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this leave you? I already know this, but I want to talk about it and have these folks hear it. But where
Yeah.
does this leave you percentage wise on Stu coming back? Has it
Well,
changed at all or not?
I say it has given me more confidence that it could happen in this movie because, and I've always said that you don't need Sydney for Stu to come back, and I could back
Right.
that up with theories of why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that as long as you have Sydney back, you've really got the odds of Stu go up a lot now in my
Mm-hmm.
mind. So that's part of the reason why I'm so excited. Number one, I'm excited that Sydney's back because I love Sydney. But secondly, that all again, it's like a domino, right? I think the first domino's fallen, and the second one the only one standing is the Stu Macher domino.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, Knight, that that we are as close as we've ever been to him coming back in 7 after
Mm-hmm.
this with her coming back. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I feel like we're in the best scenario possible for him to be back.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What do you think?
Well, I definitely think this is as close as we've ever gotten.
Yes.
You know, we've never been this
Right.
close to it happening. And for those people, and I get it, and and I know some of you guys here, even like Melissa was saying, she's not a big fan of Stu coming back. And I get it. There are a lot of people that are on both sides of the fence. But the fact of the matter is when you have, characters that loom over a franchise and the actors or actresses that do as well, there's always that possibility, especially in horror movies, because that's kind of a fail-safe of horror movies is the characters that are so beloved by the audience or the filmmakers or the writers or what have you. And I think that it would be a great way, again, assuming that this is the end of a trilogy and maybe doing a lot of wrapping up of a story, maybe the long story from all the way back to 96. I think you having him in it is a really good thing. It really, really is. We've already done so many ties to the past, and really, like, this is a big spider web. If you look at all 6 of these movies, it's a big spider web. And I think that this is about as close as we've ever been. They've laid the breadcrumbs in 5 and in 6. And if they do not bring him back, because we know Matthew is obviously open and wanting to come back. So we already know that. I mean, we've heard him, we've seen interviews, we've read about it. I mean, when I was at the con, I mean, he was like basically like, if it happens, I'm all for it, and so anyways, but this is as close as we've gotten, and I think that it would be amazing. You're bringing back Sydney, and you've got Stu. I mean, wow. I just hope that for 7, that the movie that the storyline is good, obviously, but that the movie, as far as what happens, continues to kind of push the envelope about what could happen. 6 did a lot of great things, and I hope that can continue as far as giving us some fresh takes, some fresh looks as far as what a Scream movie can be. So that is what I'm hoping. And Carrie, Stoonergy. Carrie. I don't even know what to say. Oh Lord, you're all right. You're all right. And I also want to say, and I know a lot of you guys have just jumped in, or jumped in the last several minutes or what have you, but also just to say, welcome and thank you so much, for being here. We always enjoy this, and for you guys also. Carrie's been here. We got Juan, we got Lewis, Melissa, so many of you guys that are channel members and so forth. Just to say, and I teased it earlier, and then I teased it again with Steven when he jumped on, but we've got some really cool things that we are planning for Halloween season and so forth. So definitely
Yes.
keep your eyes open. Some of you guys that we have regular conversations with, we'll definitely be in touch with
Mhm.
some of the things we have planned. So definitely keep your eyes open. All right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun Halloween season, bro.
It is, man, and we
Yeah.
probably should get started on that. I mean, we'll talk offline, but we probably should get started that sooner rather than later, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's true.
in September. Yeah.
It's true. Yep. And I've already
Mhm.
had a couple of different you know me, I'm always like thinking of stuff. I already had a couple of ideas and stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. No doubt.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey Barb. Barb's in the chat saying hello.
Hey, Barb.
I'll have to come back and watch the replay. Work getting in the way. Well, thank you for jumping in. We appreciate that and hope you're
Yeah.
doing well. Hope your work day is going well. For you guys that do work and still jump into the live chats and stuff, I know Denisha does that. Dan does that sometimes. Eric, all you
Mhm.
guys, Monty. We
Yep.
appreciate that. We really do. It's very cool of you guys to even take the time to say hello. It really
True.
is cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Danielle saying studio logic, more sales when you appease both sides. One side gets Stu, the other side gets Sid. Package deal, baby. I like
Works.
that.
That works.
That was good. I like the baby part at the end. That was good, man.
Yeah.
BTT saying Stu coming back would be so badass, but it would have to be written so well, and it would have to be the very end of the franchise to wrap everything up. Okay, now I just want to make sure. Now, did you mean it would have to be at the end of the movie that he comes back, or the last third? So BTT, let us know. Just to throw that out there, because I know we've talked about it, Steven. If they were
Yeah.
to bring him back,
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that are in play, because number one, do they let us know ahead of time that he's back in the promotions and stuff like that?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's the first obstacle in my personal opinion. I mean, there might be others, but just off the top of my head right now, that's the number
Yeah.
one obstacle, or the first obstacle. Second obstacle is, where does he come into the movie? Is it right from the beginning? Is it
Yeah.
a third of the way in, halfway, or in the finale, or the last third? Kind of like what I think BTT might be alluding
Mhm.
to. What are your thoughts on that? I know we've talked about it, and I know there's a lot of ways it could go.
Yeah.
But if it were up to you, what do you think would be maybe the best way to approach that, as far as, do we know Stu's in it? And whether we do or not, when does he come into the movie?
Oh, wow. So I would like to see, and I have this idea in my head where if I was writing it, here's the way I would do it,
Mm-hmm.
is we would know he's in the movie in the first 30 minutes of the film. It's going to be early. And what's going to be cool about it is it's one of those things where we as the audience know he's in it,
Mm-hmm.
but the cast members, the characters, don't know he's in it.
Right.
So, and I've mentioned this before, in a scenario where what I would like to see is Sam working wherever they're at. She's at like a coffee shop, Starbucks kind of thing, or at a bar. It works that way too, bartending, whichever. And
Mhm.
then we see Stu coming into her workplace and becoming a regular customer.
Mm.
Basically, what he's doing, though, he's stalking her in the background. She doesn't know that, but he's wanting to form a friendship, not romantic. He's not
Mhm.
interested in that, because he wants to restore the connection he once had, the closest friend he ever had, and that was
Mm.
Billy Loomis. And all these years that have gone by, he's longing for that kind of connection again. And so in
Mhm.
his mind, the closest he can get to Billy is Billy's direct offspring. And
Mm.
so and my thinking is that he's going to say, look, I want to get to be around her. I want to get to know her and have a relationship friendship at some level with her, and you do that by becoming a regular customer. You're showing up almost every day at the
Yeah.
same time for a drink or a coffee, and you start talking, right? But he
Mhm.
never shows himself anywhere else. Night. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Gail never sees him. Sydney, and anyone who really would know who he is, they never see him.
Mm.
And then his end game night is in the third act. He reveals he's actually Stu Macher, not the
Mm.
pseudo name he gives earlier, and that he wants her to join him to continue the work he started with her dad.
Wow.
And see, that's how I would do this, so that we all know he's there. We're watching him act. We're seeing him. But here's the thing: he's got people doing Ghostface killings in the movie that are part of his cult. We don't know who they are.
Mhm.
And because some people say, well, if you do that, you ruin the surprise. Where's the reveal? Well, the reveal would be who is the accomplices. Because they're a part of the friend group, as always. So those are the ones doing the majority of the killing. And then finally we see Stu Macher in the third act in costume, revealing himself to Sam.
Mm.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, what I would like to see. So the very long answer, but what I don't want to see, Night, is him revealed in the very final scene of the third act.
Right.
Now, if you go back on the second watch, you would know, hey, that's Stu. That would, I guess that works. But I want to know, I want to know he's there, right? First, before then. So those are just my thoughts. And again, I see Lewis's comment. Sam seen pictures. I don't think so. No. First of all, maybe so, but remember, the last pictures of him would have been as a 17-year-old kid.
Right.
He's 50 years old now. He's probably got some facial changes a little bit from the television, or not even the television. Maybe he's had surgery like Debbie Salt. Maybe he's purposely had plastic surgery to modify some things. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, let's not forget, guys. In Scream 5, nobody knew who this guy was.
Right.
Dewey had to say who he was. Remember, Knight?
That's right. You're right. Good point. Yep.
So that right there tells me they don't know who Stu Macher is. They're like, who's Stu Macher again? And Dewey's like, he's Billy's accomplice, a real Looney Tune. So anyway, I don't think that's a real big hurdle, honestly, at all. I really don't. And they could even go so far as to say, I've seen pictures of you. And he could even say, like, yeah, when I was 17.
Right.
And before I had, there's ways you can do that. So
that's a good point. Absolutely. BTT saying, yeah, I mean, they need to reveal him at the very end, but give us swerves throughout the film to keep us on our toes. And it would have to be the very last Scream film. Well, okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. Number one, I don't foresee this as being the very last Scream film. I just don't. Now, I could be proven wrong, but I mean, if we look at countless franchises and countless other horror movies with at least, a sequel or two, I just don't think that this will be the last one. It might be the last one for a little while. We know how famously Halloween usually takes off almost a decade in between, some of their movies, or, if it's like the trilogy we got or the 2 zombie films or whatever. By the way, today is the anniversary of when Rob Zombie's Halloween was released, for those who are fans of it. But anyways, I think if they reveal him at the end, I think it's a waste of Matthew.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I get why that could be a cool thing, but I think you run into some of the same stuff that, at least for me, that I've had issues with as far as what they've done with Neve or with Courtney, like in 5. Like, if you're going to bring Matthew Lillard back as Stu Macher, you can't just have him at the end.
No,
you just wouldn't be utilizing his talents enough, just in my opinion. And I do agree that it's a sticky situation. You have to really walk a fine line with bringing him back, because you do want to give him presence, but like you said, Stephen, you still want to have that reveal to the characters. Like, we know that it's Stu, but
That's right.
Sam, wouldn't, or Tara, or
No,
whoever, So,
that's right. Gail and
um,
Sydney, they would
right,
be stunned. They
right.
think he's
Could you,
dead.
man? Could you imagine when the reveal happens and Sydney's reaction to that? I
Oh
mean,
gosh.
that's just, you remember that scene, and people are like, well, why do you always do that? I'm just saying, I got to do it because you think of other big franchises,
Yeah.
but in H2O, when Michael came up to the door, that famous scene
Oh,
where they were looking at each other, Laurie and Michael, through the the
yes.
the the, the door window, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And the
It
look,
is.
and it worked, not because of Michael, although that was half of it, but more so it was Jamie Lee Curtis's reaction in her face. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, it really is friggin' Michael,
He's here.
Could you
Yes.
imagine? I mean, and it's little things like that. I
Mm-hmm.
really pay attention to some of those types of things, is the reactions and the facial expressions and the physicality of actors. But Neve Campbell, what a moment that would be for her, to
Yeah.
see, Stu revealed. I mean, wow, we'd be talking about that for a
Incredible.
long time. Yeah,
Yes. That's the first time they lock eyes.
yeah.
Ooh, man.
Exactly. Barb saying, I'm so glad this channel is Stu friendly. Well, absolutely, we're Stu friendly. And let me also just say, even if I wasn't a fan of Stu coming back, which I am, but even if I wasn't a fan, I would still, want to talk about it if you guys wanted to talk about it, because I think that,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got their own opinion. There's people that don't want to see him, and that's fine too. We can talk about why you don't want to. So, but thank you for that comment, Barb. Very, very sweet. Now, and Barb was just saying that too, Stu interacting with Sydney, and then camera followed him home where he pulls off his realistic mask like Tom Cruise did in the first Mission Impossible. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, they could
That would.
take a cue from Mission Impossible, right? Um,
Man.
so, but okay, so now you talked about how that will work in the movie, but what about in the promotion? I mean, they've got to tell people that he's in it, right? I mean,
Ooh.
or do they? I mean,
No, man.
isn't that tricky? I mean,
Yeah.
it obviously would be great for the marketing, but would it be giving away too much? Because maybe what could happen is in the movie, it's almost like a, kind of like a pseudo reveal in that, whatever, that 30-minute mark, when he does have interaction with Sam. It's almost like you
Mm-hmm.
get a reveal near the beginning of the movie that he is alive and, on the hunt, so to speak,
Yeah.
but for
Well,
go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, for promotion, I
Mm,
guess if it goes the route that I proposed, where we are gonna know he's there, it's not gonna
mhm,
be the mystery is not gonna be if Stu's there. The mystery is gonna be if Stu can turn Sam and who's helping Stu. That's the
mm,
mystery element for the movie. Um, if that's the case, you could put him into marketing. And you could have like,
mhm,
okay, I'll give you an example. The Saw 10 trailer.
mhm,
Remember the very last scene of the Saw 10 trailer? The pig mask comes off
yeah,
and it's
mhm,
Amanda. Remember that?
right, yep,
And then we're all like, oh, there she is. Remember that? That whole, it's like, so you could simply end the trailer. You don't show him in the whole trailer. And at the very end, you see Sam with like bringing a tray with a drink, let's just say, to the
mhm,
table. She's like, and you only see her. It's like, okay,
mhm,
all right, here's your, triple latte, blah, blah, whatever. And
mhm,
she sets it down on the table. And then all of a sudden the camera pans and Stu's like, oh, thank you so much. You're the best. And it's
mhm,
Stu Macher. It's Matthew
mhm,
Lillard.
mhm,
And then that's how you end the trailer. And it's like, that's,
mhm,
we know he's there.
mhm,
That kind of, or something like that, where
yeah,
you make that your big ending of the trailer. And we
mhm,
all just freak out the first
right,
time we see it.
right,
Um,
right,
that's a possibility. I mean, you
mhm,
could keep it a secret, of course, but I'm like, if you're going to reveal him in the early part of the movie anyway, then I would say go for it. I'd probably do it because can you imagine the buzz it would generate would be
Right.
insane, man. The marketing
Yeah.
would be nuts.
That's what I'm saying is that, at the end of the day, because like Jamie's saying it would disappoint to see Stu at the beginning, knowing he's alive, it would ruin it for me. And
Hmm.
I think she had mentioned it could be boring, but I think, and I get that. I truly get that because there's that part of me that would like be that reveal would rival 96's reveal to me.
Mhm.
That, and to
Right.
me 96's reveal is still the best, although
Yeah.
I'd really love 4. So just to put that
I do
out there,
too.
Jill's reveal I think is knocking on the door of 96. But
Mhm.
if they revealed Stu at the end of this movie, or the last third, whatever, when we have the final confrontation,
Yeah.
and of course it has to be done right, but just in general, him being revealed, that would just be bonkers. I could just imagine the theater going
Mhm.
crazy, the internet will go crazy, our channels will go crazy. It's awesome. But then you don't utilize Matthew Lillard to his
No,
full potential as far as I'm concerned,
that's right.
and I think that's kind of the conundrum. And studios, ultimately, this is a business, and so they're going to look
Mhm.
at how do we maximize this movie, our leverage with the cast, the fans of the cast members, and so forth. I
Yeah.
don't think there's no way that they only have him if he comes back, which I do think he will, and I do think that's good for the movie and the franchise. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any way that they would have him be in that last 18 minutes or so of the
I don't
movie.
either.
I just don't.
I don't either.
And it could happen. I could be proven wrong, and we'd have a lot of great discussions about it. But it's a pickle. It's a pickle that they're in. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of upside because if he's in the promotion, and
Oh, yeah.
if they can craft the story the right way, I think it could be a win-win-win for everyone involved.
Yeah.
You know?
And I wonder, Knight, and there's no way to quantify this. This is just us talking because there's no way else to know, but
Mhm.
unless it happens. But I wonder, could this, if they promote Stu Macher in the trailer
Mhm.
marketing and Sydney in the marketing, it's all
Mhm.
out there. Do you think it's possible this movie could approach 200 million? Because the last one did 160, right? Something.
Yeah, it did like
Could,
160. Yeah.
could
I
it
think
get
it
190, 195, 200?
I think it could, man. I really do think it could because, man, I'm telling you, man, and I know that the horror community, the horror fans itself, all of us diehard horror fans, we are the smaller percentage, but
Yes.
we're really, really passionate. And I'm just
Mhm.
telling you guys, if you have never met Matthew Lillard in person, or if you've never been around his fans, it is nuts.
Mhm.
When we were at the con,
I
I
bet.
kid you not, bro. He
Mhm.
had a room. It was easily like
Mhm.
300 of us in the room, and the line, it was crazy. The line outside of the room, it was crazy.
Wow.
And so I just think if he's in it and you have the confrontation with him and Sydney, the
Yeah.
story's crafted right.
Mhm.
We continue to get this ghost face killer that is like means business, like when we saw
Mhm.
in the trailer with the bodega, and we were like, oh
Yeah.
my god, he's not playing around.
That's
Plus,
right.
and we haven't even talked about Melissa and Jenna and those guys,
Mm-mm.
let them be a part of this thing and kind of continue their ascension in the Scream fandom and franchise. I do think it could approach 200 million. I truly
I
do.
do too.
I
Yeah.
truly do. I would be surprised. I'd be supremely surprised if it didn't. I mean,
Mhm.
it has all the elements that it would need. Yeah.
It does.
Yep. Jamie making a good point too, saying, I don't want to see Matthew. I want to see Stu. Can't bring him back
Right.
just because he's a good actor we like seeing. Good point. Good point. I definitely want to see Stu as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about it. Yep.
For sure.
And we've got a super chat coming in.
All right.
our good buddy, the mayor himself, coming in, Eric from
Hey.
the Bearded
The
Entertainment.
yes.
And let me just say, and also, Eric, and I was saying this earlier, I don't know if you were around, but I just wanted to say for all you guys that have been supporters, our Patreon supporters and also channel members, thank you guys so much. Seriously, it really it means a lot. It's very, very special. And you're all right, Eric. You're all right. Saying Stu and Sydney back. Get it up.
Get it up,
man. Well, let me just say
bring
this.
that. Because that's what I'd be singing that song coming out of the theater. Woo.
Okay, I'll do that one for you, Steve. We're gonna do a double clip for you, Steven, and for Eric. Here we go.
Bring that fat ass over here. Oh, I wanna.
Dude.
What was that?
Oh, I can't do that again. See. That's all I got. Oh no, I broke them. I broke Night. It's been a while. Oh no. I swear, someone's clipping that. Eric or Carrie. Somebody's clipping that. I know.
Man.
I will learn to regret that clip.
Oh man, I didn't expect you to go there, man. Whew. All right. Thank you so much, Eric, man. Seriously. Much appreciated, bro. Love you, man.
Yes, absolutely.
And Jennifer is coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Saying showing some love before the stream is over. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Now, you know what? And I was saying this in the beginning of the stream. There's been a couple times just recently that people have, reached out and just, they just either shown support by encouraging words or, messages or what have you. And even in live streams talking about, just really cool stuff, community stuff and showing support. Thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. It means a lot because, and I know Steven can attest to this, when we work on content or we do streams or whatever, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And that's why I'm always so thankful of people that can join in, like Steven and some of you in this live chat as well. But being on the panel, there's a lot that goes into it because people have lives and families.
That's right.
And responsibilities. So, I'm always so thankful that folks can join in and help to make these streams something that hopefully is either informative or entertaining to you guys, or allowing a chance for you to have fellowship with each other in this community. So thank you so much, Jennifer. That's very thoughtful of you, saying that she wanted to do that before the stream is over. That's
awesome.
That's very, very cool. Saying great chat today, fellas. Scream Talk is always the best.
Yeah, it is. Can't argue with that one.
Can't. And Jen, I'll have to play a clip or two for you as well. Thank you so much. And we'll do another double one. Here we go.
Cool.
Bring that fat ass over here. Oh, I wanna.
There you go.
Oh God.
Jen.
Oh man.
Sometimes you want to move around, and just kind of let it go.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen. We really appreciate you. Very kind.
Yes, very much.
And Jamie was saying, if they tell us all that Matthew is in it before the movie comes out, it will be too obvious and ruin the shock and surprise if he comes back. Now, again, so this is, and again, this is a very interesting
Mm-hmm.
situation that they're in, and I'm
It is.
sure you've got to imagine everyone involved with the story and getting this movie together. If he is coming back, you've got to imagine that there's been a lot of thought and conversations based
Yeah.
upon this.
Yeah.
I'll let you answer this one first, Stephen. I mean, we've touched upon it, but just to kind of go deeper
Yeah.
into, because Jamie is really, on that side of the fence, saying that it could lessen the positive, by us knowing ahead of time. What do you think, or what else would you say on that?
Well, I mean, I do understand that perspective, and I totally get it because I like mysteries too. I mean, mysteries is my favorite
Yeah.
genre is the mystery films, right? That's my favorite. So I do get that whole part about the not knowing. Uh, again, I think it's just. I guess the question I would ask myself, and then I guess everyone ask yourselves, and it's going to be different for everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
if if you're going to see Matthew Lillard in the first, let's say after the opening kill is done, the first 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
are you disappointed? Because
Mm-hmm.
if your answer is yes, then typically I think that person probably won't be happy with Matthew Lillard unless he's unwaited until the very end to be unmasked. And the mystery of the movie is Stu involved or not? Which that's a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can always do that. However, if the answer is no, I wouldn't be disappointed to see him in the first 15 minutes of the movie. I just don't want to know beforehand. I mean, I respect that too. But my thinking
Mm-hmm.
night is this for me is that if you're okay in general with seeing him early in the movie and having the surprise be who's helping him
Mm-hmm.
versus him, then I think you probably wouldn't have a problem with using him in marketing.
Okay.
That's just my thought. But again, everyone can answer that differently. But now,
Mm-hmm.
if you're the one that says no, I'll be bothered if I see him early. I don't want to see him at all
Mm-hmm.
until that reveal in the third act. Then I get it. I get it why you wouldn't want him in the marketing or anything else because you're
Right.
wanting the approach to be different than what I
Mm-hmm.
proposed, where it's out in the open. Some would want it to be a total surprise. Is it Leslie Macher or is it Stu Macher? Which,
Mm-hmm.
like, you could have that whole thing going where they're doing DNA, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a familia of what's her name? I just said her name, Leslie.
Leslie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not an exact match. Well, then you're like, well, is it Stu, or are they going to pull another relative on us? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Could Danny be a half brother of Stu, and maybe that's the big twist. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You can see. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you could do it.
Yeah.
Um, so to me, it comes down to this: how are they gonna do this story? If the
Mm-hmm.
story is that Stu's not revealed, then you can't put him into marketing. You can't announce he's on the cast. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be like super lock and key night on this
Yeah.
thing.
That's right.
Now, but on the other hand, if they are going to allow us to see him early,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any issue with putting him in a poster or in TV ad, trailer ad, or commercials. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to show us anyway. You're just
Mm-hmm.
letting us know, come see Matthew again, come see
Yes.
Stu again,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a huge appeal.
Right.
So that's how I look at it, man. It's the story determines what you can do with them.
Well said. Well said, man.
Thank you.
And again, I think there's a lot. I think there's so much to that. I'll give my thoughts on that too in a second.
Yeah.
But real quick, just to catch up to the chat, Jamie was saying she's not the biggest fan or not a fan of fan service. That was almost a tongue twister. Saying I'm a huge David Lynch fan. I prefer secret surprises and mysteries to fan service. Good point. Good point. And I agree. I think with fan service, I think it's all about
Yeah.
how it's done. I mean, ultimately,
Yes.
movies in general is fan service as far as trying to put something on
Hmm.
film that people will be entertained by. So I think it's all about
That's right.
how you do it, if it makes sense, if it serves the story and so forth. So
Yeah,
definitely.
man.
Danielle saying, it's not that I don't want to contribute to the channel. I'm disabled with 5 bulging spinal discs. So I'm just a pro Danielle, it's totally
Aw,
okay. Don't you worry about that. Just having you here, it's
yeah.
always really cool, and you always have great comments and questions for the live chat. So you're a part of the community as much as anyone else. So
Oh,
thank you
yeah.
for being here. Seriously, do not feel bad about that.
No.
Oh, and Jamie, thank you. That's why Jamie's a good moderator, and the rest of you guys are too, because you say things before I even say it. But just being here is a huge contribution. Absolutely, no
Yep.
doubt at all, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are very, very kind, which is very awesome. It really, really is. And Danielle saying, appreciate everyone. Absolutely, yes, yes. We're all in this together.
We sure are.
And Barb coming in with a super chat. Thank you so
Hey.
much, Barb. We appreciate you as well.
Yeah.
Always down for Scream Chat. Thanks for giving us a cool place to discuss. Oh, well, hey, we're just happy to talk about it and glad you guys are enjoying it. It's fun for us. Me and Steven do this a lot offline anyway. So
We sure do, man.
I mean,
And
we've been on phone calls for 2-3 hours at a time.
easily. And what you guys don't know is half the time when we go off of these streams and say good night or good day, we could spend another hour backstage continuing to talk. And we're like, dude, we should be live right now. Why did we end the stream?
I know, right? There's been times where we were like, oh, that would have been good for a live stream.
It's like,
oh my God.
this is
It's
what
great.
this is what we do, man. When we can
What
do it,
we
this is
do.
what we do.
That's right. All right. Barb, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. You know that. Let's play a clip or two for you as well. Here we go.
3. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, I ain't messing with you. Oh no.
Oh wow.
I love that one.
He's bailed out.
He bailed out, man. Let's do another one for you, Barb. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
The Nutcracker performances are tomorrow night.
Oh man,
I love those.
I do too, man. Yes,
So good.
yes. All right. And just to catch up, Juan was saying, I would love to see the Ghostface in the opening kill to go to a secret location or make a call, and it is Stu. That way you can see Stu throughout the movie. That'd be an interesting way to do it. Yeah.
It would be. You sure
Yep.
could.
Yep. Now, to kind of piggyback off of what you said and to give my thoughts on it. Yeah, I think that obviously there's different ways to look at this Stu situation, but ultimately, as a fan and also thinking of it movie wise, and again, movies is business as well.
Mhm.
I just think that the marketing has to have them in it, but the story, kind of like what you were alluding to with your idea for the story has to find a way to have twists with him. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? Like he's not just in it and he's just, woo, I'm Ghostface, I'm killing people. Blah, blah, blah. It's got to be a twist where it's a connection to Sam and Sydney and so forth. And then that's what the surprise or the mystery is. You get what I'm saying? But he's just too big of a character in the franchise for him not to be in the movie until the very end.
Yes.
And or not being a part of the promotion for the movie, because again, they got to make their money, and this is a surefire way to get that marketing, that money, and so forth. So it is a conundrum. It truly is. And in a perfect world, it'd be great if we didn't know he was in it. Maybe it was alluded to in the marketing, and then his reveal or his opening reveal is within that first 25, 30 minutes. That'd be the perfect world option. But we
Yeah.
know we don't live in a perfect world.
No.
And they're gonna want to promote this movie as the return, finally, the return of Stu Macher and how this is going to affect Sam and Sydney. So that's how I see it, overall. You know what I mean?
Dude, look at the marketing for it. And again, the marketing was bad because it wasn't real. It wasn't true or authentic, but it was good in terms of getting, I think, the results they wanted. Was look at the Halloween Ends marketing. And imagine having where you have some Stu versus Sydney poster, or
Yes.
it's they're back again for one final. You know what I'm saying? You could totally take the Halloween Ends approach and not isolate the core four. You need them to be a part of it too, but you could also cash in on the Sydney versus Stu reunion. Is they're
That's right.
back.
Yeah.
And that, dude, I know that would generate tons of interest, tons of sales.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It just, like I said, that's why I asked you that question earlier. I think we could see 190s. We might even see it crack too. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Agreed. Yeah, man. And Philip, thank you so much. Always a good time here. Castellar saying, glad everyone has a voice here. Absolutely. That's that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
That's how we do it.
That's right. Oh, and Jen, I will definitely check IG. Thank you.
Okay.
And let's Jamie, she liked that clip. The nut crapper, I know.
Crapper.
That was good, man.
I love it. Sometimes every once in a while, I haven't done it in a little while now, but I used to do it a lot. I'd pull up news fails, bloopers.
That's
and
right.
Just watch those where they have them all together, compilations.
Yeah,
they're so funny. Those sometimes you feel bad for them. Most time they're it's just you're just laughing. They're so funny, and they're bless their hearts. They just it happens. I mean, we've done it.
We do it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yep. Hey Nate, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Nate.
Welcome to the stream. Saying I seen Craven's video.
Oh,
Heck
good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. And by the way, as always, if you guys have not subscribed to Craven Something Scary, make sure you do that. The link is in the description.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey Kay, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I love the emojis. Kay is always putting in the best emojis. We got Michael Myers, Jason, Stu, and Rambo. That's what I'm
Rambo.
You're all right.
That's a good group right there.
So cool. And by the way, and Kay, takes advantage of it. Those are all, exclusive emojis that you could use as a channel member. So thank you so much for that well. Yes. BTT saying, I think the marketing should allude to all of the past killers as an homage or tribute, but also it would make us second guess who is really dead or alive. Some obviously dead, but Stu, not so obvious. Yeah, I mean, look, it could be a cool way that they do it, that they bring him in, in the beginning of the movie, kind of playing around with the idea of it. But that, of course, would mean that he's not in the marketing. Well, yeah, it's tricky, man, because if you allude to it, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be, I think they either have to have him in the marketing or not. You know what I mean? Because I think if you allude to it, there's just going to be just so much, noise and, and there's going to be possible leaks. I think they should just say he's in it if he is and just go with it. I could be wrong though.
I'm with you. I agree with that, man.
Yeah.
You got to pick which side you're going to pick which side of the fence you're going to go on, and you got to do it and just do it.
That's right. Danielle, alluding is a tease, and you love strip shows. Oh my God. Well, you know what? And you're right, Danielle, it is a tease. But let's also do something else here.
And you don't stop. Sure shot. Go out to the parking lot, and you get in your car and you drive real far and you drive all night, then you see a light.
Wow.
There you go. There
Man.
you go. That's for you, Danielle. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna start winding down here, and I want to make sure that Steven's been on a marathon of streaming lately, so I want to make sure I respect his time and he can, recuperate and so
Yeah.
forth. But any final thoughts as far as, and I know we kind of went all around Scream
Mhm.
7. We talked about the core four, we talked about Stu, we talked
Yeah.
about Neve coming back and so forth. Any final thoughts that you want to give, and also any upcoming things you want to let folks know about as well?
I mean, final thoughts. I'm gonna say, buckle up, guys, because I think the potential for 7 with this news that I got from my source about Nev that I've shared, we talked about earlier. If you're coming late to the stream, I highly recommend, as soon as this is over, you watch the replay. I
Mhm.
promise you want to. If you're coming in late, you need to watch the replay of this. But I'll say this as far as Scream 7, guys. I'm gonna say this. This is a time we should be excited.
Mhm.
I know that there was, initially there was some, for some people, there was disappointment of Radio Silence not returning. And I
Mhm.
respect Radio Silence and what they did. I do. But I also say, look, that's done now. It's out of our hands. None of us can bring them back. So we need to embrace where we're at. And we've got a great director tonight, that Christopher Landon, who I think is going to do an amazing job. He's a seasoned writer, seasoned director. He knows his craft well. And as Robert Englund described Wes, not saying Chris is like Wes, but in one way they're double threats, because they're a
Mhm.
writer
Right.
and a director. So I think that we're in very good hands. And I think with Nev coming back, guys, I think that 7 has the potential tonight to be the very best Scream movie since Scream 4 of the
Mhm.
non-Wes Craven era. I really do. I think 7 could actually surpass 6 even.
Mhm.
And I think that the writing's on the wall that it could happen. So I just want to say, if I want to encourage you all just to be excited. And if you're in the Scream fandom, we should be excited and embracing all of this stuff and welcoming Christopher into the family. And I think it's going to be great. Now, as far as real quick, anything on the channel, I do want to mention just 2 things. One of them is tomorrow morning at the same time we started this morning. It's at 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern a.m.
Mhm.
And Night is going to be there. Coriander's going to be there.
Yep.
Some other folks, Eric, I think, is going to be there, JT and others. We're going to be watching Wes Craven's Red Eye on my channel tomorrow morning night. I'm very excited.
That's right. Me too, man. Me too. We've been having so much fun with these watch parties, and for quite a few of them, it's been a way to reconnect with these films that we may not have seen in a few years, and sometimes a handful of years. And it's been, like I said to you multiple times, I'm so glad to have reconnected with some of these Wes Craven classics, because it's now in a steady rotation of movies that I want to, kind of keep tabs with and watch more frequently. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, same, man. I feel the same thing, and I'm glad you've been able to you and Coriander have been there, and we're gonna, if I have anything to do with it, we're gonna keep our trend up of these Wednesday, Friday watch parties, man, as often as we can. They're really fun, and so we're gonna close out what has been Wes Craven month on my channel officially tomorrow with Red Eye. That's gonna kind of close the month up, but we're always celebrating Wes.
That's right.
And then the last thing is Saturday night, which, Saturday night, I've got my 2-year channel-versary, channel birthday party, however you want to call it. Yeah, man. 2 years night, the channel
man.
has been in existence here. And So it starts at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to go until, I'm not going to go like I did with the 10K where I went 8 hours. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing that, but I guarantee you it'll be a nice 4-hour stream at least
There you go.
4 hours. And night we're going to be watching, playing Wheel of Fortune, horror,
Mm-hmm.
Wheel of Fortune, and we're going to be playing Jeopardy, and it's going to be questions involving information about my channel as well as horror movies. So it's
Nice.
going to be a lot of fun. Most of us are just going to be hanging out, remembering things from the past, favorite moments, talking some Scream, talking. We're just going to be chilling.
Yeah.
So a lot of guests will be there, and you just never know who's going to pop up. So
That's the truth.
you just never know. So that's it, man. I
Yes.
just wanted to share those two things.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a blast. So again, for you guys, definitely hang out with us, for these watch parties because it's been so much fun, man. It really has, and
Mhm.
it's been really cool and able to, you know, give kind of commemorating Wes and these
Mhm.
movies and stuff. And I think it's nice to do that, and also to hopefully, show that love to others, and get them to be even bigger fans of his films if they weren't already.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
thank you,
man.
Danielle. We appreciate the kind words. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
very much. Appreciate it.
yes. And Jason, hope you're doing well, and thank you as well. Yeah, definitely have fun with the replay, man. It was fun. It was fun. Hope you're having a great day too.
Yeah, you too, Jason.
Yeah. Juan is saying that Red Eye is a solid movie. I agree.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Yep. BTT saying, just imagine the possible marketing, hearing Stu's voice saying, surprise, Sydney. But you're not quite 100% that it was him, but deep down you just know it.
You just
Right?
know it.
You just know it. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Danielle said, watch parties need to be free movies. Ain't renting all of those. Yeah, it can be tough. Although,
Yeah.
and I know Steven has done this on his channel. I mean, some movies, and of course our good friend Polar definitely keeps track of it all,
Mhm.
but some of these movies are on Tubi, which are
Mhm.
free. And also, and Danielle, I'm pretty sure you know this because we've done some watch parties here where I provide the movie. So, just keep an eye out because, we definitely, we try to make it as easy for you guys as possible. I know Steven does as well, but there are
Mhm.
some of these movies that are on Tubi,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
some are available on YouTube as well that are free. So
Yeah,
no
that's
doubt.
true.
Yeah. And I think that's about all. So, hey guys, thank you so
Yeah.
much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And again, keep your eyes open. We're going to be doing a lot in the next few days, having some fun with you guys, which is
Yes.
what is always a great thing to do. So, we will be catching you guys later on. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Nightwatch. Peace out. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, guys.